Well, hey, Max, we made it back for another week.
Yeah, we did. I'm glad we're going to make this a common occurrence. I miss these times together.
Yes.
So looking forward to this.
It's a good reason. I'm sporting another Mexican lager tonight.
I'm doing the old H2O hard seltzer and backing it up with a little, I think you said Woodford, is it? Woodford Reserve?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Very nice. Very nice combo, by the way. Yeah, I had a great Thanksgiving. I heard about your amazing turkey you did on the Traeger and did the whole brine and all that.
Yeah, first time doing a turkey on a Traeger. And normally I go to the dark meat because it's moister.
Yep.
And maybe as a kid, that's my parents were always say, kids, you have the dark meat. But I learned to love it, much more moist. The white meat of a normal bird that I've had
sometimes
over the years,
can
just
be
too dry.
Yeah, terribly dry.
And man, that Traeger, it was phenomenal. It was very moist, very good.
That is awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
And then even threw in a little ham on the side.
Oh, yeah. Did a little. Well, it was my first turkey on the Traeger. To be honest, I think it's my first turkey ever. So I did a backup ham, but the ham turned out really good in the crock pot in a slow cooker.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was, and then all the sides and everything. So, yeah.
So cool. I went over to the Bitterroot, where I was born and raised, over in Hamilton. Got to spend some Thanksgiving with my family, and it was great. Hadn't been over there in years for Thanksgiving, so good to connect with people and say hello to new folks and all that good stuff. So
that is nice. Yeah, I get to spend some time with your parents.
Snuck in a day of hunting, the last day of the season. Didn't have any luck, but got a soak in the hot springs at White Sulphur, so that was worth it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you've been hunting over the years. Now, when's the last time? I know there's a lot of game and a lot of soaking that goes on. When's the last time you've actually
acquired an animal?
Actually fired your weapon?
I would say probably about 4 years, probably 5 years ago now. I took a small deer and just made jerky out of the whole thing.
Okay.
And my grandkids love jerky. My kids love jerky before they had left the house. And so it just makes it I really enjoy the flavor and taste of elk. Deer is kind of hit and miss, but if it's jerky, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
So
I understand you saw a moose.
Yeah, we did see a big moose, which was ironically the only thing I think we couldn't have shot in the area that we were in. But it was a good time, and we didn't get stuck. Thought we were going to get stuck for a few minutes. It was going to change the whole weekend, and we didn't. So it was a win all the way around. So good to be back in the saddle, and looking forward to a lot of great stuff coming up here before the end of the year. I mean, this is the time of the year that people are out and about and doing fun stuff, and we got a lot of it happening right at the tap room.
Yeah, we got a few things happening before, during this between holidays, I guess, sort of thing. Now, there's a beer that's back out. What do you got, Max?
Back out is the Big Belt Weizenbock. Matter of fact, I will bring some cans next week, and we'll have to drink some of that on the podcast, and we probably won't even need a backup on that.
No, we won't need the whiskey on that.
Because
what's that at?
It was right at around 9% this year. I think 9.2 maybe is where it came out. But always just an amazing winter warmer, crowd-pleasing beer. And I think it's been at least 2, maybe 3 years since we produced the Big Belt. We just got busy with so many other things. And so it's available now on tap, and you'll find it across town in several locations. And next week I'll point out some of those locations because I know some of them are sitting behind another keg waiting for a keg to go out, and they'll be on tap. But we do have it on tap at the tap room, and we also have the cans there, and the cans should be showing up this week in Safeway, Albertsons, Super One, all those locations that people find our beer. And it's just, again, one of those great beers that has a really nice malty character to it, very smooth drink, and a little bit dangerous. I will let people know that right up front. It's one of those things that's probably best...
Sneak up on you.
Yeah, probably best enjoyed at home. Because... there's certainly been some situations. One comes to mind years ago underneath the brew house when we had the brewery in the tap room down underneath the brew house, and there was a Carroll College kid that came in that was his 21st birthday. And so he was excited to legally drink his first beer. Not sure whether that was his first beer, but his first legal beer.
First legal beer, yeah.
And he decided he was going to go on the Weizenbock train. So in the period of, I would say, probably 45 minutes, he drank what our limit, and back then it was 3 16-ounce pints of Weizenbock, so 48 ounces of a beer that was somewhere between 9 and 10%, I'm sure, during those days. And he stood up to go to the bathroom, and he just fell down. So we had his friends helped him get a safe ride home. But it is one of those beers that can sneak up on you because it packs a punch, but it's so smooth. Unlike some of the other beers that are really strong that you can almost smell and taste the alcohol, it does a really good job of hiding that alcohol.
Was that one that was on nitro for a little while?
Yeah, we did have it on nitro for a little while. And one of the exciting things we didn't even think about mentioning, but we are in the process of redesigning our entire draft system at the tap room. And the slowest weeks of the year, honestly, for us are the first 2 weeks of January.
Oh, okay.
So we've decided to take those first 2 weeks, and we're going to be doing quite a bit of updating and facelifting and improvements to our draft system. We've already got the draft towers done. Instead of 12 handles per side, they're going to be 16. So we'll be able to have 16 flavors of beer on tap, beer and seltzer. Much nicer. We're always kind of waiting for one to run out before we put the new one on.
Right.
So that's going to be great. And just all brand new beer lines because, gosh, it's been 2011 since we did that. We remodeled that facility and opened. And most of those beer lines are rated for 10 to 15 years. So they need to be replaced.
It's time.
We're making a significant investment in redoing all the draft lines. We unfortunately didn't have really good planning, and so we have to jackhammer the floor out. The concrete is where we put the old beer lines to put the new ones in, but this time we're going to put a big conduit pipe in there that we can...
I like pipes. I like conduit. I like...
So it'll make it a little bit easier to update next time. And then we're also going to grind down that entire bar. So there might be 1 or 2 days in January we're actually closed, but we also have an alternative plan of having a kegerator out with at least maybe 4 to 6 beers on tap out by the stage. And then the entire bar area will be visqueened off while we're doing all the heavy work in there and then creating all the dust and all that stuff. And then we are going to shoot for, I think it was right around the 10th or 11th to reopen with the beautiful new bar and new tap system. And I think we got a pretty big show for that. I think we've got Kenny Fiedler will probably be one of our bigger shows right after we get that done. So
that'll be great.
That's exciting. Yeah. It's always nice to be working on something new. And then as far as events coming up, of course, we've got trivia every Wednesday night. I know not this Wednesday, but in a Wednesday or two from now, we even have an ugly sweater trivia night, so that'll be fun. And then free beer bingo, we've been doing every other Friday. It's been so popular now. And to be honest with you, there's so many nonprofits in our community that could really use the help, especially this time of the year, that, of course, all the money from the bingo cards goes to those nonprofits. And, on a weekly basis, I'm signing checks for $750 to $1,250 a week for those nonprofits. So if you see a nonprofit that you care about, make sure you come down for the bingo that night.
Right.
Have a beer, support them, and that's a great way for us all to get together, have a good time, and then support a great cause. So that will be on Friday. And then just a point, the golf sim has been super popular, of course, when the weather changes, and there's a lot of golfers that can't go out and golf. So just look at lctaproom.com if you want to look and see if there's a time.
Yeah, because the league has one more week. This is the last week for league, right?
Yeah, I think it's this last week, and then we break for basically the holidays. And then in January, there'll be another league. So if you didn't get in on this league, because it did fill up really fast, and you're interested, we're going to expand it a little bit for the Winter League, which will start probably mid-January on our, just amazing golf simulator we have in the arcade there. And then if you're looking to book a room for your holiday party, just go to lctaproom.com. We still have a few spots available. We have spots ranging from $25 all the way up to our power room, which is, $200 or $250 depending on the day. And it holds like 90 people. But we have a lot of good parties going on there for the holidays. Some parties even in the arcade where they're renting the arcade and
that's great.
Letting people just, go at it with all those games and stuff. And then talking about this week, though, we got Alex Zimmerman coming up. It's a free show, December 5th, which is Thursday, I think, right?
It's Thursday, yeah.
And then December 7th on Saturday, web.jam. Tell me a little bit about that. I know
this is a great opportunity to come out and support both of these local artists. And web.jam is Helena based. They're putting some stuff together. There's 5 of them. And I think they're kind of coming up with some unique sounds and I
read like jazz, fusion, rock, quite a bit of mix.
So it's one of those things. There's people that have commented that hey, we hope you have more live music and things like that. Well, this is an opportunity to come out and really support a band, some folks that are trying to get something going. And
another free show, I think. Yeah.
Both shows are free. And they've been working hard to put something together, so folks should come out and enjoy it.
Awesome.
Check it out.
And then looking ahead, we got some good stuff coming. I mean,
got the Dusty Tones coming back on the 14th
and
December.
They've been pulling a really good crowd every time they come in. They throw a great party. And then, of course, our friends from El Wincho.
John and Josh.
El Winch Ho Ho. That's an ugly sweater contest, by the way, so you still got time to even order a super ugly sweater.
And that'll start at 8 like the normal time on that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's the plan there. And then local favorite here, Rocket to Uranus.
Yeah. So, and will be a fun one. So you never know the day after Christmas what you should do, but we're going to put a party together.
Yeah.
And so if you're, a little getting a little stir crazy, a little cabin fever. Yeah. You got an opportunity to come out.
Tired of that family.
Yeah. Well, or bring them along.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a beer and enjoy.
And maybe it'll be loud enough that you don't have to talk about stuff you don't want to talk about.
You just dance. Well, Rocket to Uranus they're always fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they put together a fun show.
Yeah, it really is a show. It's not just music. There's some audience participation.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And again, another local Helena band, both Dusty Tones and Rocket to Uranus, and really El Wencho Ho Ho. I mean, John is here in Helena, and then they kind of have their roots coming out of maybe the Bozeman area a little more, but with the Clintons originally.
And they've been, I've been following them on Instagram. They've been all over the place. They've been down in New Orleans and all over. So very cool.
Yeah, down in Florida, Southern Florida. I forget the name of that one, and then in a very tropical environment.
Yeah, I think they got a Belize thing coming up here in January, February. So, we're lucky to have a relationship with those guys, and I'm sure they'll always be happy to play at the tap room as they get more and more popular and bigger venues that they play. But that's exciting.
And I know you've had a couple questions already, like what's happening for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we have started getting some questions on Facebook and Instagram, and even just phone calls in, and it's kind of a definitely a tradition with us to have 10 Years Gone for New Year's Eve. One of Helena's most popular bands. They always fill up that place with people that are just looking to have a good time and party and dance. And for New Year's Eve, we got a couple of special things. Of course, we do what we've done for several years. We'll have a lot of party favors, so all the noisemakers and hats and all that fun stuff. A free toast at midnight, free toast of champagne for everybody that's there at midnight. So this will be one of those nights that we go a little later. Normally go till about 12:30-ish, something like that. But this will be the first year we're going to do door prizes. So we're going to give out tickets when you come in and probably be drawn. The band takes a couple of breaks throughout the night, so we'll probably be drawn around 11 o'clock that night, and got some really good stuff that we're going to give away. So encourage folks to make their New Year's Eve plans at the tap room. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, they're always fun.
Yeah, should be a good time. So, yeah, lots of stuff going on, and we're going to start doing these on a more regular basis so that we can continue to give people updates on what's going on. I'm also doing a little thing on the KXLH called Out and About that's available Thursday mornings and also Thursday on the 10 o'clock news that talks about other events and our events that are going on in Helena. So invite people to tune in for that. And yeah.
When does that air again?
That airs Thursday morning on the early show for KXLH. I think it's Good Morning or something. And then the 10 o'clock news on Thursday night as well has that. And they have it out on their Facebook page.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
I'll start sharing that a little bit more on our socials so people can catch it whenever time works for them. But yeah, it should be a fun holiday season. We're looking forward to it.
Well, I know then you just shared the last podcast we do, at least a link to it, where we're talking about kind of our thoughts on live music as we're moving forward.
Yeah, and we've gotten some good feedback, and so yeah, encourage people to go out to either Facebook. It's probably super easy because they're already followers of the brewery, and click on that, or go out to YouTube and they can get it. Is it at the Expedition?
Yes, at theexpedition.com.
Yep, and so either
and then
way,
just go to the Brewery Boys podcast on there.
Yeah, and check it out. It I think it does kind of explain the background of why we made some of the decisions that we've made moving forward into 2025. Some of those changes won't occur right away, but they are going to be occurring. And the bottom line is we just want to make sure that we're providing enough live music for Helena, but maybe not providing too much or inconveniencing any of our normal, just beer-loving people that want to come in and have a beer and eat a slice of pizza.
Well, I think as we do move forward and having those Thursdays for solo artists or duos and stuff, there's an interest in that. I mean, I did get a message before the holiday from Jeremy Sleed that he's formed a duo.
Oh.
And so obviously amazing drummer, and not only 10 years gone, but other bands and vocalist also. Super talented individual.
And I think the ability to get two people to select a date is so much easier than 4 or 5.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so many of these, we have some great musicians in Helena, but they're in multiple groups.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to be able to say, oh, I can just get one. It's going to be me and this guy, and we got it locked in.
Yeah, so Jeremy, if you're listening, I've been a little distracted, but my note is right there on my computer that I owe you a Thursday. So I will be getting back to you.
Cool. Well, I think that's a wrap for this week. So
all right. Well,
cheers.
hopefully we can keep this running. Cheers, Max.
Yeah. See you next week.